In the chilling narrative of the Zodiac Killer, the story unfolds on December 20th, 1968, when 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen and 17-year-old David Faraday were on their first date. As they parked at Lake Herman Road, a mysterious man confronted them, initially attempting to intimidate by firing a shot at their car. Refusing to comply, Betty and David were tragically shot, marking the beginning of the Zodiac's reign of terror. Months later, on July 4th, 1969, the Zodiac struck again. Following Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau to Blue Rock Springs Park, the killer engaged in a sinister pursuit. After a momentary relief, the couple was ambushed. The Zodiac, wielding a flashlight, blinded them before unleashing a barrage of gunfire. Darlene succumbed to her injuries, while Michael, though injured, remained conscious. Astonishingly, the Zodiac returned to finish the job, leaving the couple for dead. The horror escalated as the killer, for the first time, directly contacted the police with an anonymous call saying, "I want to report a double murder. If you go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway Public Park, you'll find kids in a brown car. They were shot with a 9mm Lunger. I also killed those kids last year. Goodbye." August 1st, 1969, the Zodiac wrote his first 3 infamous letters to the Vallejo Times-Herald, the San Francisco Chronicle, and the San Francisco Examiner. All 3 letters were nearly identical, in crude handwriting. At the end of the letters was an 8-line series of characters including Greek symbols, Morse code, weather symbols, alphabet letters, and astrological symbols. Demanding the publication of a cipher, he threatened a killing spree if his message wasn't printed by August 1st. The newspapers complied, but skepticism lingered. A couple, Donald and Betty Hardin, successfully decoded the cipher, revealing the killer's chilling message about the thrill of murder and his twisted belief in enslaving victims in paradise. As the decoded cipher remained undisclosed, the Zodiac continued his correspondence. Responding to a police chief's request for more proof, he taunted authorities, providing details only the killer would know. The letters intensified the hunt for the mysterious murderer. Amateur code breakers, captivated by the unfolding mystery, analyzed the decoded cipher. The jumbled letters at the end sparked theories of an anagram for the killer's real name. Suggestions like Emmett O. Wright and Robert Hemphill emerged, while others dismissed the possibility, considering it a deliberate misdirection. The Zodiac's reign of terror continued, leaving investigators and the public gripped by fear and uncertainty. The unresolved puzzle and the killer's ominous promises foreshadowed further atrocities as the enigma of the Zodiac Killer continued to grip the Bay Area and beyond. On September 27, 1969, the Zodiac Killer struck again, targeting college students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard at Lake Berryessa. The ominous encounter began when Cecilia noticed a hooded figure approaching. Initially dismissed, the man drew a gun within 20 feet, demanding money and car keys. Brian, showing only 50 cents, had his keys returned after the hooded man claimed to be an escaped convict from Montana who had killed a prison guard. As the couple thought the ordeal might end, the man revealed a sinister twist. He produced a 3-foot clothesline, instructing Cecilia to tie Brian's hands, then tying Cecilia's hands himself. Threatening to stab them, the man brutally attacked, leaving Cecilia with 10 stab wounds and Brian with 6. After deeming his gruesome task complete, the killer hiked to the couple's car, leaving a chilling message on the door. Discovered by a fisherman and his son, the injured couple was rushed to the hospital. Cecilia succumbed to her wounds, but Brian survived to recount the horror to the police. The Zodiac struck with a methodical pattern, targeting young couples, committing crimes on weekends near holidays, and choosing dusk or night. The killer consistently boasted about his deeds through letters or calls, often striking in well-known lovers' lanes near bodies of water. The police, now connecting the dots, recognized a chilling modus operandi. The Zodiac's reign of terror continued, leaving investigators and the public gripped by fear and uncertainty. The Zodiac Killer's chilling patterns, targeting couples and predominantly focusing on women, hinted at potential frustrations with love and women. However, his next move would deviate from this pattern. On October 11, 1969, just 2 weeks after his previous murder, the Zodiac hailed a cab driven by Paul Stein in San Francisco. The killer shot Stein in the skull, stole his wallet, and tore off a piece of his shirt. Mistakenly described as a black male by witnesses, this crucial error allowed the Zodiac to escape when police encountered him later that night. The police, acting on the mistaken description, let the potential suspect go without realizing he was drenched in Stein's blood. The Zodiac continued to taunt authorities by sending a letter to the Chronicle on October 14th, enclosing a piece of Stein's blood-soaked shirt. The letter not only claimed responsibility for the cab driver's murder, but also ridiculed the San Francisco Police Department for their perceived incompetence. In a chilling twist, the Zodiac threatened further violence, targeting school children by stating, "School children make nice targets. I think I shall wipe out a school bus." The ominous letter heightened public fear and frustration as the enigmatic killer continued to elude capture, leaving a city gripped by terror and uncertainty. Following the Zodiac Killer's menacing letter, the Chronicle published it but withheld the school bus threat at authorities' request. However, the threat was eventually released, causing panic in the Napa Valley Unified School District. School bus drivers received instructions on handling a Zodiac attack, emphasizing driving with a flat tire and instructing children to lie low until reaching a well-populated area. Contrary to the Zodiac's claim, no school bus attack occurred. Working with the officers who allowed the Zodiac to escape, a revised sketch was produced, aged and with a thicker jaw. Meanwhile, the Zodiac, having the San Francisco area in fear, stunned the nation by reaching out to Melvin Belli, a prominent lawyer. He requested Belli's appearance on a TV talk show for a live conversation. Despite several calls, suspicions arose about the authenticity of the caller's identity. On October 22nd, the Zodiac called the Oakland PD, aiming to speak to Belli on a TV talk show. However, during the show, the caller, who claimed the name Sam, hung up after waiting for 40 minutes. Subsequent calls, totaling 35 attempts, were met with skepticism. To verify, 3 individuals familiar with the Zodiac's voice were consulted, but all agreed the caller's voice was deeper and older. Further investigation traced the calls to Napa State Hospital, exposing the Zodiac imposter. The Zodiac continued his reign of terror with 2 more letters, one featuring the Z340 cipher. This highly complex cipher baffled code breakers for over 50 years until recently solved. The decoded message expressed the Zodiac's lack of fear of the gas chamber and reiterated his disturbing belief in having slaves in the afterlife, as mentioned in his first letter from 1969. He vowed to change his approach, committing murders that would appear as routine crimes. The Zodiac criticized police sketches, claiming to look entirely different most of the time, and boasted about leaving no fingerprints at crime scenes, leaving fake clues to mislead investigators. The letter included a detailed account of an encounter with police after the cab murder, concluding with step-by-step bomb-making instructions. Notably, the Zodiac mentioned having a basement, a potential crucial detail that could narrow down his location. This revelation raised questions about his residence in the Bay Area, given the uncommon presence of basements. On March 22, 1970, Kathleen Johns experienced a terrifying encounter on Highway 132. A car seemingly followed her, and the driver, offering assistance with a wobbling tire, later escalated the situation. Despite fixing the tire, Kathleen's rear wheel detached, leading her to suspect foul play. The man then veered off course, alarming Kathleen, who realized she was in danger. In a pivotal moment, Kathleen escaped the car when it stopped, rolling into a ditch. After eluding the Zodiac search, She was rescued by a passing driver who took her to the police station. Confronted with a police sketch, Kathleen strongly believed the Zodiac was her abductor, adding another chilling chapter to the unfolding mystery. After Kathleen's ordeal, her car was found burned, likely by the Zodiac to eliminate evidence. On April 19, 1970, the Zodiac sent a letter with a 13-character cipher intended to reveal his name, but its brevity stumped attempts at decryption. Claiming 10 killings and a failed bomb plot, he shared a new bomb diagram, kept secret to avoid public panic. Over the next 4 years, several Zodiac letters arrived, repeating patterns and demanding attention. One cipher hinted at a bomb location set for fall 1970, but no bomb was found. Admitting to Kathleen John's abduction, the Zodiac confessed to burning her car after a failed murder attempt. The final letter on January 30, 1974, briefly reviewed The Exorcist and reiterated the demand for publicity. Signing off with Me 37, SFPD 0. The Zodiac claimed 37 murders, though police confirmed only 5, leaving the true count uncertain. The case's notoriety attracted false claimants and misleading tips, further complicating efforts to unmask the elusive killer. Arthur Leigh Allen emerged as an early suspect in the Zodiac case due to a tip from his friend Donald Cheney. Cheney claimed Allen spoke about murdering people and signing letters as the Zodiac. Military discharge, footprints matching military boots, and a Zodiac watch added to suspicions. However, fingerprint and handwriting analyses did not align, leaving Allen a person of interest. He died in 1992. Richard Gaikowski, a counterculture newspaper editor, raised suspicion with military service and reports from a co-worker named Goldcatcher. Voice recordings matched Zodiac's description, but credibility concerns surrounded Goldcatcher's claims. The cipher seemingly containing the Zodiac's identity included the word Jike, possibly a reference to Gaikowski. Limited evidence prevents conclusive identification. Earl Van Best Jr., implicated in the book The Most Dangerous Animal of All by Gary Stewart, claimed his biological father was the Zodiac. Alleged interest in ciphers matching the composite sketch and handwriting on his marriage certificate were cited. However, critics disputed the facial match, and the handwriting was later attributed to the minister, discrediting Best as a suspect. The Zodiac case, gripping the nation in the late 1960s and 70s, remains an enduring mystery. The killer's identity, victim count, and deciphering cryptic ciphers persist as unsolved challenges, cementing the Zodiac case as one of the most iconic unsolved mysteries in true crime history. In 2021, the case breakers presented Gary Francis Post as a likely candidate, citing forehead scars, anagrams in coded notes, and a potential connection to the unsolved 1966 murder of Cherry Joe Bates. Their meticulous analysis even suggested a 6th victim, challenging the long-standing belief in 5 deaths attributed to the Zodiac. However, the search for the Zodiac's true identity persists, and opinions on suspects may continue to evolve. The enduring mystery, marked by cryptic ciphers and unsolved crimes, leaves investigators and true crime enthusiasts alike captivated. As the enigma endures, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remains one of the most elusive and perplexing puzzles in the annals of criminal history. So, what's your narrative about Zodiac Killer? Please leave us a comment. Please like and subscribe for more thrilling mysteries.